Thank you for joining us for this episode of For the Love of the Sport, where our mission here is to educate female athletes on the sport of bodybuilding and in life so they can be successful on the stage and beyond. Our guest today is Sarah Lyon, who is the owner of Maximum Beaty. Sarah, I think the first time that I met you, you were interviewing me when I was getting off stage at the Chicago Pro in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Wow. That was a curveball. Yeah, it was.
I was trying to remember.
Like centuries ago.
That was a long time ago. And so you are used to interviewing others, and now I get to interview you today. So how does it feel so far?
A little weird to be on this side. I usually have my sheet laid out and I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what I'm going to ask you. And now I'm like, okay, just here we go, I guess. This is my first time ever being interviewed. So thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing it with me. So let's just jump right in and talk about how you even got involved in this crazy sport of bodybuilding, I like to call it. I feel like every competitor has a story of why they started competing or something, but how did you even get started and when?
My story is a little different, but I'm sure there are younger competitors who can relate. But I actually have always been an athlete my entire life. I played competitive basketball, soccer, swim team, horseback riding, and I got injured in high school with my rotator cuff. So I actually stepped back and I instead worked a couple jobs. Then I went to college at the University of Alabama. And when I was in college, I put on that freshman 15 plus. And, that late night Taco Bell pizza kind of runs really added up. And I came home that summer and I just had to lose weight. And so I had a couple of friends that had competed before and I went on a really strict diet. I lost 35 pounds and I was just skinny fat, no muscle to me, but, I was back in my zeros and twos and happy as can be. And then I just kind of ventured more into bodybuilding. And I actually kind of ended up going down a really hardcore party path in college, and it was all fun and games until it kind of got the best of me. So from there, I decided that I really needed to take a step back from partying 100%. I actually left Alabama my junior year, and I decided to completely engulf myself in bodybuilding. And I did my first competition in, I think it was April of 2013. Okay. So, and I did not do good. I did not do good, but
who does good their first time? Yeah. Right. I was like, I feel like none of us do good our first time, but no. That's usually the deciding factor of what happens after that is some of us that just lights a fire under us and we go for more. And then others, it's okay, this is probably not for me. So it goes one way or the other.
Yep, exactly. And I did fall in love with the process, got a whole new coach and went down a whole new path to take it way more seriously and competed for 4 or 5 years.
In the bikini.
And now I have not competed. Yeah. In bikini, have not competed since 2017, I believe it was. I took 6th place at North Americans and hung up the heels after that.
Your story is not that different than a lot of girls can relate to that. There's always some spark or motivating factor on just getting started in the sport. And for me, I'm actually have a somewhat similar story as you. I was in college too when I started competing, and I bartended at night, drank every single night, just lived that life. And then finally, competing just kind of gave me a purpose. And helped me get my life in order too. So it was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you were competing, what parts of it did you like the most and what parts did you not like at all?
Everyone's prep is so different, right? And I'm such an extreme person. If I'm doing something, I am diving headfirst into it and giving it 100%. So to me, I was whatever I have to do. I don't care if I'm doing 2 hours of cardio, no carbs. And I probably spoke too soon because that was pretty much how all my preps went. They were really unhealthy. And looking back on it, I know that now, but at the time I didn't care. And it was what I felt that I had to do. So the dieting part was hard because I went from being a social butterfly to completely diving down this rabbit hole and like not leaving my house besides to go to the gym and the grocery store. I didn't go out. I mean, there was no alcohol. It was just a total 180 from what my everyday life had been before. And so I really started to dive down into work and just really focused on building a couple different businesses. I enjoyed that part because it created who I am today as a business person. But the part that I loved the most was it was absolutely competition day. I mean, waking up, getting my hair and makeup done, having the tan, just knowing that the hard work was done. It was such an accomplishment feeling. So I really, really enjoyed that.
Well, that kind of plays into what I was going to talk about next and how you started Maximum Beaty. So it kind of makes sense that you love the show day glam and everything. So Maximum Beaty is the official hair and makeup team for the Nashville Fit Show this year, which I'm super excited about. So how did you even start this company? Like, what made you do it?
The company was an idea that kind of came up out of the blue. It was just more of I was working with a media company at the time and running that media company. And I was super engulfed in that, but I really wanted something that was more tailored to what I loved and what I enjoyed. And I had actually learned how to do stage makeup, self-taught stage makeup, back when that was more of like an acceptable thing, or I don't know. I feel like the divisions have changed so much. The criteria has changed so much. Makeup and hair didn't play into it as much back in the day that it does now, in my opinion. And actually, my best friend, Courtney King, who probably people listening to this know, she was a 2016 Miss Olympia, and we both are from Chicago, and she taught me how to do stage makeup. And she actually traveled with me to like the first, 4 or 5 shows that I ever competed in and did my hair and makeup. Aww. And I loved that. And from there, anyways, this idea came up and we kind of ran with it. And the funny part of it all was that it was never really supposed to be 100% my gig, if you will. I had lined up a makeup artist that I was kind of like, here, I'll set this all up for you. I'll do the marketing and advertising, but you run it. You set the appointments. You do this, you do that. Long story short, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks before launch date was happening. And she was like, hey, I can't take this on. Like, it'll take way too much away from my bridal hair and makeup. And I'm like, huh? So it just fell into my lap. Like, literally, I had zero intention, which is crazy thinking about that now, but it fell into my lap and I had no other option but to run with it. And being the extreme person that I am, I just ran with it. And here we are.
I love it. I feel like that's what all successful business owners just do. Like, whatever falls in your lap, you take it, you run with it, you make it happen. Like, whatever it takes, you make it work. So
yeah, exactly.
I know that you're not the one doing the hair and makeup today because you were at the Nashville Fit Show, posting on social media. If you see all the first call outs on our social media page, Sarah is the one snapping those, getting them up on our Instagram page. And then she's running over to interview the winners of the show. And then she's running back and getting the next call out on stage. So she is moving. She's doing a lot at these shows. So talk to us a little bit about that, I guess, or how you're doing this. So the hair and makeup team, you have all that outsourced now. And are you running like the marketing and scheduling part of it only?
Yes. So I handle basically all of it. I do have an assistant who works with me and she's wonderful. She really helps me with like the emails and phone calls and text messages, just getting everything kind of lined up. I typically do play a part in the scheduling and appointments because of all the requests. We really try our best to satisfy everyone's requests as far as what time they want their hair and makeup done. And we just do our best to make it as stress-free as day as possible. My show days are stressful and tiring, but it's all worth it because I get how it is to be on the other side as a competitor and how crucial that morning is. Because if you go into like a hair and makeup appointment and it's kind of, maybe there's no music or it's not a positive energy, you're just kind of in this like blah Eeyore mood going into prejudging. And we all know that all the judging is done at prejudging. So we want to make sure that we set off every girl's morning properly by making sure it's a really positive atmosphere and kind of setting them on their way and, just cheering for them.
That's so important. Only a former competitor would know that, because if you have other hair and makeup teams trying to come into our space of the competing world, they don't understand that. They don't know that. They don't know how stressful that morning can be if it goes the wrong way. And what a big part the hair and makeup team actually plays in setting the day for that competitor. So can you talk to us just a little bit about, because we have so many first-time competitors at the Nashville Fit Show. So they're coming into this, they have no clue how this works. So can you talk to us a little bit about the scheduling process when they go into make an appointment? Like what do they do? What do they see? Can they request a specific time, or I guess not request, but make a specific time or put in a request? And then, well, actually, I'll let you answer that first. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. And I get being a first-time competitor is super overwhelming. And again, back in the day when we were competing, I don't really think it was the same and as professional as it is now. So I had no idea what I was doing. So we really try to make it as easy as possible. We take text messages, direct messages, but everything you can book directly on beauty@itsmaximum.com. And you can select your hair, makeup, select your show, and then it'll go through and it'll actually ask you for a few little questions like your birth date, what services you're getting, what time frame that you do want. And I do it as a time frame so that girls understand that it's not a specific time, because if I have 30 girls go in and request 6:30 a.m., I mean, it's just not physically possible to get 6:30 a.m. So for all those girls, so we do our best. I offer different windows. Some people are morning people and they want to be the first ones in that chair. And some people want to come after the athlete meeting.
What time do you start?
Schedule,
what time do you start?
At 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Oh, and we've started before then, because sometimes there are competitors who, just get caught up in prep, and we get it. And then all of a sudden, like, they book like the night before, and it's like, okay, well, I can either have you come at 2:15 or you have to come at 10 a.m. Like, this is what we have. And of course, sometimes we are able to, slide someone in here and there, just depending on how the morning pattern goes. But yeah, it's early day.
I wanted you to talk about that, because to stress the importance of booking your appointment early, girls. Book early so that you are not left with, well, we don't have anything left, but I can get you in at 2 a.m. Like Sarah, just like she said, she will accommodate anything, but that's stressful if you have to get up at 2 a.m. to get your hair and makeup done, and then you have to keep it fresh for the entire day. So book early.
Yes, exactly. And two, once you book, you request a time. I think everyone's like biggest thing is like, okay, so this is my official time, or how does this work? And it's not your official time. We wait for as many appointments as we can to come in, and essentially the Monday before the contest. So for you, it'd be like August 15th, I believe. That's when we send the official times out. And we are always located at the host hotel. That's another thing that I understand as being a former competitor. You don't want to have to get in an Uber and travel somewhere. I think that we've only been not at the host hotel like one time, and it was like a total emergency situation. But other than that, you will get your official appointment time sent out via email or text message, depending on contact preference, and we will send it out. Then we will send the official room number to you the day before. So Friday, when you guys are doing check-ins.
Perfect. Thank you for explaining that. It's really hard for first-time competitors because, again, this is all brand new, and just knowing little things like this can ease so much stress on, I don't know when I'm getting my appointment and all this stuff, but now they know. Say somebody is competing and they just don't have the money for hair and makeup. If you could recommend them getting one or the other, what would you tell them?
I would definitely say makeup. I think that there are a lot of girls who are capable of doing their hair. I think even just getting maybe some hair advice before is also beneficial. But I think makeup is so crucial because of the stage lighting is so intense. It's totally different, than bridal makeup even. It's just a whole different ballgame. You want your eyes to look open. You want your eyes to look bright. You don't want your makeup to be 5 shades lighter than your tan. There's a rhyme and a reason for everything. And all of the Maximum Beauty team is handpicked by myself and my lead makeup artist, Mel McIntosh, who has done New York Fashion Week. She does international weddings, Portugal, Canada, Mexico. She's very, very talented. So we go through and we kind of pick out our artists, and then they are all, so to speak, trained exactly for stage makeup. They pretty much all know bridal, but they learn the ins and outs of the bodybuilding makeup before they can even come and do a show with us. So no matter whose chair you're sitting in, you're taken care of. But absolutely makeup. I have seen that go wrong way too many times.
It has gone wrong on myself so many times that I would
me too.
100% agree with you. If you have to get one or the other and you just don't have the money, which bodybuilding can be expensive, definitely go with makeup. I cannot do makeup, not on stage anyway. And I try to save money one time. It was even a pro show. And I go to do my makeup like that morning, and I swear I almost had a nervous breakdown. And I'm like, okay, I can't do it. And then I just had to find the makeup team like last minute. They had to squeeze me in. It was so stressful. And I'm like, I'm never, ever going to try to do this again. I'm just going to make a makeup appointment. Then it's like hands off. It's like, I don't even have to think about it. I just go get it done. And then it's so much easier.
Stress free. You're off your feet, no water retention from it. It's true. And just so too, everyone who is listening knows, I understand that it is expensive. We do our best to keep our prices as minimal as possible. And there is an option on our website that if you want to do a service deposit, you can do that too, so that it kind of does help break up that payment a little bit for you.
Oh, that's super helpful. I don't think anybody ever offered that when I was competing.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't anymore too. And it's like, it's totally fine. There's ways that we can work with everyone. I get it. Everyone's income flow is different. Totally understand.
Well, awesome. So thank you for all that information. The last thing I want to ask you, I always end the interviews with the question, if you could give one piece of advice to new competitors that you wish you would have known when you were competing, what would that one piece of advice be?
I would say if I could talk to myself back then, really enjoy the process. Don't get so focused on show day. Show day is amazing. It is so fun. It is obviously the cherry on top of everything. But I think that when you really enjoy the training, you enjoy the diet. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but you really embrace it. Like, no, it's not that I can't have this. It's that it's not helping me get closer to my goal. So I don't want it. I think when you view everything as an enjoyable experience, like you enjoy waking up for cardio, you enjoy your training sessions, that is when not only does prep go faster, but it becomes such a rewarding experience, because no matter what you place on show day, you can look back and say, I didn't leave any stone left unturned. I did absolutely everything in my power to be here, versus, because I've done it. I will be 100% honest. I've done it. I have had moments where maybe I cheated on my diet and I was not supposed to have a cheat meal. And it not only reflected on stage, but mentally it took such a toll on me, because it was this realization of I was standing up there and I just took second place, but I probably could have been first if I didn't decide to have that pizza 3 weeks ago. Like,
Yeah.
It's such a mental sport. And putting in the time mentally, meditation, positive thoughts, positive affirmations. I'm sorry, but I do believe that. Call me a hippie, whatever. I 100% believe in that. So.
I agree with you, because I have definitely done prep the wrong way, I'll say, in the right way. And perspective is everything. I've been through preps where my perspective was, oh, I can't do that. I can't have that. And I would be mad at everybody around me because they were eating what they wanted. And after a while, I'm like, I'm choosing to do this. Like, I can't be mad at anybody. And so I finally developed a more positive mindset around it on, I'm just choosing to not eat that for right now because that doesn't align with the goal I'm trying to get to. And it's just a short few weeks or a few months. It's not your entire life. So once I started getting that concept in my head, it was like a lot more enjoyable of a process. Oh man. Well, I love that. That is the best advice ever. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I really am excited for the Nashville Fit Show. My whole team's really excited for it. And it is all those new time competitors who are first competing at the Nashville Fit Show. You really are making a phenomenal choice. I think all the NPC Tennessee shows just blow a lot of other shows out of the water. So it's really exciting.
You can say that. I would be biased if I said that, but we are pretty awesome here in Tennessee. So,
well, I can say from experience, I have traveled literally the country. I have traveled to Canada even for shows, and I have seen every show in person, from the Olympia to the Arnold to the, I don't want to say rinky dink, but compared to those shows, a small little regional show. Yep. And there is just something about the NPC Tennessee shows and the Nashville Fit Show, especially. You will feel like the center of attention, even with hundreds of other competitors around you. So that's what's awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I can't wait to see you at the Nashville Fit Show on August the 20th this year. And I know it's going to be great.
Me too. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us on. And if you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to me personally too.
What's your website again?
It's www.beautyatitsmaximum.com.
Awesome. And I'll link it below.